be something in it for you as well if you donate. We have fantastic prizes going today. Oh gosh, they're so good. Every GDQ, I keep thinking, oh, these are the best prizes ever. And we keep topping them. How do they do it? Something that may be of interest to this group, given our upcoming skating runs, is a handcrafted Splatoon skateboard deck. This thing looks fantastic. It's got two different, I think, squids and an octopus on it. It's really cool. It's very colorful. That is a $50 minimum donation. So if you would like a piece of GDQ history at this point, in these beautiful colors for your skating needs, that is a $50 minimum donation. If you're still here from some of our earlier runs, you will know that we have a ton of Pokemon prizes right now. Everything from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team Charms at a $15 minimum donation to Crochet Pokeballs at a $5 minimum donation. Yes, even $5 gets you in to win some of our fantastic prizes. So if you're on the fence about donating, I would encourage you to go to GamesDoneQuick.com, check out our prizes, and see, there might be something there for you. I'm looking at all these donations. These people are entered to win our prizes. This could be you too. We have $50 from Pyreal. No comment, but thank you so much. That $50 is enough to win all of the prizes that are open today. So that's a great number to hit. And we have $25 from Draco Banana. Again, no comment, but that gets you in to win pretty much everything on the list outside of those daily prizes. So both of you, you're in to win. Fingers crossed. With that, I'm excited to say that we are ready for our next run. So I hope you're ready for some sick skateboarding action as we join Nase for an any percent run of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nase. Thank you so much for having me, GDQ. This is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Very last-minute addition to the schedule, but I hope you're excited. I am joined by the party man himself. Party man.
Hey.
How you going?
Yep.
All right. And we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Cool. So this is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, as I said. 4th game in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, strangely enough. And it's the first game that lets us sort of move around without the 2-minute timer.
Hey, what's up, man?
That gives us sort of the freedom to move around, talk to people, skate as we wish.
Dude, that was amazing!
And we wish to go fast.
It also presents some interesting sort of routing opportunities. So in previous games, it was kind of more of, I always liken it to like a dog agility course. You're going between all these obstacles. In 4, you have to get to each starting point of each goal. And also, you may have noticed right at the start, Nase put down a set restart point. This game added that, and there's just a convenient menu option where you can set your restart point anywhere. And as you can see right now, he goes right to it.
Yeah, so this game, as Party Man said, like there's so much cool routing in this game. I'm really glad I wasn't running this game back when the routing was first happening, because it would have been an absolute nightmare. You don't have to like complete a certain amount of goals in each level. We just have to complete 90 goals across the game. Doing, I think every 12 goals you complete, no, every 8 goals you complete, you unlock a new level. So it really presents like so many cool opportunities for like some levels to feature like 12 missions, some feature only 9, some 14, which we'll get to a bit later. But yeah, so there's just so much that like can be done with those custom restarts. Every time you move throughout a mission, aside from like 2 different examples, wherever you complete that mission, that's where you're going to start back in the overworld. So there's like plenty of missions where like, especially high score missions, we'll be completing the high score on our way to the next mission.
Hey, man.
Yep, and right here, we're gonna use some interesting movement tech. I'm not actually sure how this works, but if you stall at the beginning of this luge mission, you just go way faster through it.
Yeah, it's really
weird.
It's completely counterintuitive as well. Like, if you just went down straight away, you would not have nearly the speed I did there.
Mm-hmm.
He's our favourite recurring character in the series, Ollie the Bum. He'll pop up a few more times. Whoops, I manualed there. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, should be fine here.
Remember that one, like, as a kid, was, like, weirdly difficult.
Oh, so
Because
difficult.
the timer is so short.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're, like, really good at comboing, you kind of know, like, the way to go about it. Presents a difficult challenge for us 4-year-olds. Yeah, so sort of the early stages of this game, very simple mechanics, very simple missions to do. There's not a whole lot to explain right now, so if there's any donations, go for it.
Oh, of course. We have $25 from Diamond, who says, just wanted to express my appreciation for all the super fast gaming and fundraising you all do. It's truly a game changer for such a great cause. Here's a donation to help you level up and keep the good times rolling. Keep up the fantastic work. Well, if you all keep up the fantastic donations, we will absolutely keep doing our job over here. We also have $50 from Art Barn, who says, love me some AGDQ, gotta go fast. And I'd say you are going very fast here on the skateboard. This looks a little dangerous, but you seem to know what you're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, saw something very interesting there while donations were being read out. So it told us to jump between floats 10 times.
Check this
We
out.
did quite a few less jumps.
Yeah.
The game just kind of forgets how to count there if you move in a certain way.
These competition missions come up a lot in the game, and they're a little bit broken. The game sort of doesn't recognize when you're about to bail in those. So what you can do is you can start like a special trick that you would never land on flat ground, end your run, and the game just assumes you were going to land it. So
Yeah.
it makes those missions really quickly.
And the strangest part is, while that does work in most competitions, there is, I think, just one competition where that does not work.
Yeah, there is one in Shipyard a little bit later that, yeah, we have no idea why. But yeah, we're on our second level now. We did 12 missions in college. We're now moving on to San Francisco. This is sort of a strangely difficult level for being so early in the game. There's a few like movement things that are a little bit janky, and it's just classic like second level syndrome where you get through the first, you're so used to playing the first that you get to the second, you make one mistake, and it just becomes all the more frustrating.
Yeah, especially like in a speed run, it's just kind of a long level, so like physically long, so
Yeah.
all of the movement is very focused on just heading to the other side very fast.
Right
Oh,
on.
nice. There we go. Just trying to land, like hit that wall there, so I'm a lot closer to this person to talk to.
Yep.
Nice.
Man.
Yeah, as Spider-Man said, a lot of the missions revolve basically just following that like main road there. I did a bit of Tony Hawk tourism a few years ago, and went and visited San Francisco,
So
and
much. Now I can keep
I was
my
pleasantly
job.
surprised with how it was represented in this game. It was nice. Same with Alcatraz, actually.
Yeah, that's something interesting about these games is that like they are, you know, they're video games, but still like they're based upon like real life cities and like different like skate spots that aren't, you know, necessarily the big landmarks of the cities. They're
it's like-
just spots that people found it's cool to skate in,
Yeah.
which is a really cool aspect of these games.
Nice, kid. You got skills.
Here,
About
coming
to see
up.
some
We were just about to explain the same thing. I love it.
Yes,
We're in
we're
sync,
both
great minds.
Yes, so we're about to see some interesting movement in this goal. So whenever you skitch a vehicle, it boosts like your speed or acceleration, something like that. And
I'm going to do
what
it
you
again
can
just
do
to
with
show it
that-
off.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's also another thing you can do, which is called shuffling, where you just grind a rail really fast, and that also gives you speed. So if you have the speed bonus from a skitch and you start shuffling, you will go extremely
Man, I
fast.
could double my route if I had that kind
I
of
unfortunately didn't go for the shuffle there. It's just a little risky. The rails are just a bit far apart for my slow hands.
Yeah.
Whoa! Yo!
If you got any donations?
I was
Go
just
for it.
about to ask. Thank you. We have $500 from Simply Steve, who says, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 was one of my favorite games and soundtracks growing up. Happy to see it torn apart. Thank you so much for that wonderful donation. We also have $50 from Noel, who says, love the AGDQ vibe every time it comes back around. Looking forward to all the awesome runs. Good luck to everyone.
Got to agree with that first donator. This game has an incredible soundtrack.
Right, though?
So good.
Do you have a favorite song on the soundtrack?
See you, Henry.
Ooh. I gotta say, Labor by Aesop Rock is an absolute classic.
Nice, I like that.
Excellent choice.
Very good, chat. If you want to tell us your favorite soundtrack from the Tony Hawk series, make sure to get those donations in. I would love to see what your favorite music is.
We in the Tony Hawk Speedrunning Discord, we often have some very heated debates about which game had the best soundtrack.
Wow, you rip.
Sweet, so we're
Honestly,
finished here with San Francisco. We're going to move on to Alcatraz. This is where the game really ramps up. This level can be a little bit strange. It's sort of a bit like vertical. There's like different levels to it. Oh, okay.
Here's a great example of moving to the next goal while doing like a score.
That usually goes a lot cleaner than that. And here's another competition. There was one just before, but I guess we can explain it now. I'm going to end my combo, end my run, just as I do the Indy 900. And the game just assumed I was going to land it. A very nice little thing to have.
Work, kid.
Is actually getting the score needed is not the fastest in the world.
Whoa, watch out.
Just jumping up, doing like a pretty cool Indy 360 and just being like, okay, that you get the gist.
Yeah. I set the restart right. Yes, I did.
Hey, it's
That's always scary with the restarts.
Yeah, it can be easy to forget, especially in a nerve-wracking marathon setting such as this. Cool little
Also,
jump I
something
can do
we
out of
haven't.
this. Hopefully get it.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
so
just-
something we hadn't really mentioned is so after every goal, there will be usually several prompts, like you'll get stats, you'll get the prompt to save,
dip on the dip. Whoa.
and to skip the end dialogue. So like when you're doing something like that jump, you want to be pressing certain buttons to exit those different dialogues. So I forget the one in that case. I think it's you hit
What are
the
you clicking
equivalent
Ollie
of
there?
B.
I'm actually, maybe that shows how much I know. But yeah, it's weird, like whatever like you use to exit out of the dialogue, like your skater does that in the game. So like if you click Ollie to say like, I don't want to save, your character will like do an Ollie straight away. It's a bit of a thing to learn when you first get into it. So
Yep.
you can sometimes Ollie and just like send yourself off.
Yeah.
Like,
And then to
direction.
further complicate matters is the PC version of this game is controls a bit differently from the PS2 version. In the PS2 version, you can hit L1, R1 down to quickly turn around. In this version of the game, you hit whatever your revert key is, and then down. You hold that for a bit, and then you'll turn around. So oftentimes, if you have to turn around quickly after a goal, you'll be holding that combination like out of the menu.
Have you seen?
That little turnaround thing is really useful. Very useful movement option to quickly. You sort of preserve all your speed and you're able to like turn 180 degrees and come the other way. Makes
Yeah.
it really good for some of these movement missions where you're sort of jumping between sections.
Look, kid.
Yeah, that's one thing very nice about 4 is compared to 3. Like 3, if you watch a run of that, there's a lot of kind of awkward movement where you'll see people running into walls, doing stuff like that, or having to like always jump off of rails. This game also added dropping off of rails without ollieing.
Yeah, the drop-down feature. The drop-down feature was only in the PS2 version, but someone made a mod, and we as a community decided that it was too good to pass up. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So you'll see, like, instead of jumping off a rail, or sort of just, like, fall off. This mission, if anyone's played this game, you know how infamous this mission is, and I was so excited to be like, look how cool I am, I did it in one go, but sadly not. We'll get a second try there, it's fine.
Yeah, it'll get you. So the idea of this is that they kind of changed the skater physics a little bit. So like if you're in the air too long, you'll bail and like you'll just constantly accelerate. So it's really hard to hit the slalom correctly.
And it's also like you turn sharper when you're doing a like a diagonal down turn rather than just like straight to the left or straight to the right. So that also makes the movement a little bit weird because like sometimes you won't turn enough or sometimes you won't turn at all because, you know, especially if you're like me, you're using a joystick.
Oh wow, you play on stick?
I do.
I didn't know that.
I'm a stick user. Another heated debate topic in the community is stick versus D-pad.
Even some keyboard players out there.
There are strange people.
Hey, you. These'll definitely need to be cleaned out before they go back on the shelf. Oh, we.
Would you like
Cona's
some more
an
donations
interesting
as we keep... Oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, I don't know how I bailed there. Kona's a really interesting level. If your PC isn't like amazing, this will lag your game so much. It's such like an open level, there's no real like obstacles blocking anything, so everything is like rendering at once. And it means it makes things really difficult for your PC if you're not running a supercomputer like me.
Surprisingly, even on like I've run this game on a Steam Deck and it has issues with this level, so it's not like, you know, oh, this is a game from what, 2002, we're all good now.
Yeah.
No.
One thing I forgot to mention is our special tricks. We've got 3 main special tricks that we use. One being the Indy 900. Oh, not like that though.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That gets us a lot of points, and you'll see that used a lot, especially in the missions where we're getting quite a high score, and we've got sort of time to go up a ramp and do it. Other ones are One Wheel Fireworks Show, which is our special manual, and Ghetto Bird, which is our like sort of flat ground like flip trick. Those two get us a ridiculous amount of points. Ghetto Bird's sort of a bit of a newer inclusion. I'm going to have to end my run. Oh,
Over here.
I need to end the goal because I forgot to set my restart over here.
Ah, yeah. This one's the hard one to remember.
Yeah. But yeah, another competition mission. This would be a fantastic time for donations because we're sort of going through what we've already been through.
Wonderful. We have $5 from Ali who says, Kia ora, Nase from your Kiwi friends across the ditch. So cool to hear a familiar accent on AGDQ. Good luck. Thank you so much for that. We also have $50 from Austin who says, this is the first year I can make daily donations due to my new job. Oh, congrats on the job. Loving seeing THPS this year. Not only was it a cornerstone to my childhood, but a few of my bosses at my new job also worked on the series. Hope to share this run with them tomorrow. Oh, that's so cool. I hope they enjoy the run as well. Please, everyone, if you're enjoying the runs, share it out. Let your friends know. Let your coworkers know. We'd love to have more people get to watch GDQ this year.
All right, you won this round. I'm gonna go.
It's really cool. The prospect of devs watching this has now got me even more nervous than I was. So hopefully I put on a good show.
You're doing fantastic. Just keep it up. You got this.
Thank you.
Devs are watching. Stop breaking the game.
That is, the timing on this one's a little bit tough. I'm trying to do the Indy 900 in like the same sort of air as the other tricks, which can be a little bit difficult, but we got through it okay. We're onto Shipyard now, which is the most infamous level in this game. Not only is the missions here very difficult, just like that, somehow it's the O. The missions here are incredibly difficult. Not only that, the level is laid out really weirdly. There's weird geometry. There's water everywhere that if you fall into, you get teleported away. And then on top of that, we are doing 14 missions here instead of like the regular 12 or 11 that we do in every other level. So this is just an absolute nightmare. As we say, there's no such thing as a run until you get through Shipyard.
Yeah, this level is brutal. Yeah, the rivets are straightforward, but they will kill a surprising number of runs.
Yeah, just the movement sort of in the middle part there is very difficult. Sort of jumping over the water and trying to land properly. Now, this mission is really interesting. There's a little thing that we can grind. It's quite small, but if I'm fast enough, we'll be able to grind it twice. I missed it that time, but that's okay.
Yeah, so this is the shuffling I was explaining earlier. So if two rails are close enough together, you can immediately jump from one to the other. And because this buoy is rocking in the water, it counts as a new rail every time like you grind it, so you can just immediately grind it several times.
That's a lot of people that play Tony Hawk games will often hold their controllers in a claw grip, so they've sort of got like 2 fingers on the face buttons. That's not how I play, so I sort of have to go into a really unnatural motion there to do that properly. Yeah. Sort of holding the grind button and just spamming the A button. Ooh. This is a bit of a tough high score to do fast. There we go, that'll be fine.
Sweet! That might have been too easy for you.
Again, just more examples of how difficult this level can be. There is a moment of respite coming up, though. Respite or respite? I've actually never known.
I always think respite.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe someone can donate and let me know.
Absolutely.
Actually, if it's typed out, we may never know.
Let's take the pronunciation challenge here.
So yeah, this little cutscene's quite cool. I just need to make sure I don't screw up here, because otherwise I will restart and watch that entire cutscene again. So luckily we're all good.
Good job.
Bucky's so supportive. He's a great NPC in this game.
Yeah, this game's all about the good vibes from at least most of the pros.
Yeah, I can't think of a pro. Oh, Bam's a little bit goofy.
Yeah.
Bam can be a little bit.
Rodney's got the one fake out one, but
yeah. He says that sucked and then goes, oh no, I was just kidding.
I need to get those.
This is another mission that's quite difficult, yeah. It's more the goodness, I don't know how that happened. It's more like the routing of this one's quite interesting. Just like trying to hit all of these containers optimally, and I have messed up twice already.
Yeah, it's a very intricate thing because you have so many containers so tightly packed and you have to hit all of them somehow. So a lot of them, like, you can kind of see he'll graze 1 or 2 of them, and that will count. So it's just kind of brushing across all of them as quick as possible.
This is definitely not optimal, but we're getting through it all right.
It's better than what I can do.
This next mission's really janky, so we're meant to like do like a lip. What am I doing? We're meant to do a lip trick on a container up here, and it's going to move across to the other side of the barrel. But if I can get this special up, there we go. We're going to do a trick here, sort of revert down, shuffle our way over to the other side, and that should normally count. I don't know what happened there. Go again. There we go.
Not bad at all.
So that was a cool little optimization that was found a few years ago. Usually, had to up our lip stat to be able to do that mission. We play this game with no stat points in like lip, rail, or manual balance, just because we want those stat points in speed, ollie, switch, flip, etc.
Yeah, if you're a skilled player, you can generally survive without any of the balance stats, especially like if you're not grinding for a long time or anything.
All right, you nailed that
Second try is alright. That's an interesting
That's
little
such a cool one.
quirk. Yeah, it's it really only works if you're like limiting your FPS, which I guess we forgot to mention earlier. But we are playing on a limited FPS. The game acts really weird when it's left to its own devices to sort of. I forgot how many points I have to get here. We'll come back around. That's fine. Yeah, when the game's left to its own devices, it acts really strangely. Like sometimes tricks just won't work. You won't be able to do like reverts and hold your combo, and then there's a couple missions that just like don't work straight up. So
Yeah. In the past couple years or so, people have really gotten into ILs, so individual missions in this game, and it's been kind of an interesting balance of oh, you didn't get the second Andrew.
I did the second. Oh yeah, I didn't. That's weird.
Yeah, I think
Completely
you
forgot about
to
that.
set your restart.
But, I think I said it and just forgot to use it. That's alright. We move on.
So there's been an interesting balance in the IL scene of people kind of balancing how high you can set your FPS because it will make you move slightly faster versus the game detecting that you're doing things correctly. So
Yeah,
it's a really funny thing.
It's really strange. Really strange how this game works on PC sometimes. We're in London now, and really, like, honestly, deepest apologies to any British people in the audience. The game, I guess, like, the devs just decided to have a bit of fun, and so all of the, all of the people that are meant to be, like, you know, representations of local Londoners,
I was having trouble with that.
I reckon it was just like devs that like decided to put on like a really bad British accent. But yeah, you've got some absolute classic lines. I missed my Indy 900 there.
Hang on. I didn't think you had.
London's one of the shortest levels in the run. I actually don't know if it's the shortest time wise, but we do the least amount of goals. And we do
Yeah. It's the one that I always like think, like, if I'm ever doing a run, it's like, did I forget something here?
One of those, yeah, because it's like so short, kind of just breezes past you. You sort of forget like what you're meant to do in it sometimes.
Blimey.
I guess we've got to talk about cheesing the Indy 900. In this game, when you do like a spin with your trick, you get a lot more points for it. Now, the Indy 900 takes a while, so usually you're not able to spin the Indy 900. But an interesting quirk is if you do a revert, which is that thing where like I'm coming down from a ramp, I do a revert and that continues my combo. If I revert, oh, missed. If I do a revert and then immediately jump and spin, that spin will be applied to the Indy 900. So you get like a lot more points than you normally would. That later, like in the next couple levels, that's going to be really important because it's going to get us a whole heap more points. And you know, as we get towards the end of the game, that's when the scores that we have to hit get really quite high.
Yeah, this was kind of the game that Neversoft had to kind of ratchet back a bit in the next game. So the next game's kind of noticeably much easier than this.
There were quite and there's actually like there's difficulty options in Underground. There are no difficulty options in this game, and so I think they had a lot of complaints about how difficult this game was at the time.
Nice job.
It's been great the last couple of years. This game's seen a real explosion in the amount of people playing it, and the time has just come down heaps. Previous world record holder. A lot of people thought that like that record was not going to be touched for a very long time, and it wasn't. And then suddenly people have come and just like absolutely smashed it in ways that like we did not really expect. So it's been awesome. And I just encourage anyone, if you're like watching this and you're having a great time and you think, hey, maybe I could do that, you definitely can. I think it's discord.me.thps. I don't actually know what the Discord link is, but
I also forget. I think it is linked on.
That was funny.
What is it? Let me just check.
it's definitely linked on the speedrun.com page.
Also, if you go to thps.run, there is a Discord link there. That's so something that spurred a lot of IL play was community leader, really, Packle, introduced thps.run, which is a sort of leaderboard for like a meta leaderboard for all of the speedrun categories across the whole series, and then you gain points for how high you rank for each of those. So people were trying to get their totals as high as possible with the THPS4 ILs.
Yeah, it's added a fun bit of competition with the community. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The Packle points, as they're locally known.
Yeah, absolutely huge shout outs to Packle. He is the best.
The best. The amount of care and love he has for this series and this community is inspiring. And he's just one of the many incredible community members that are part of this game's speedrunning entourage. So I encourage anyone to get involved. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, Skater.
If there are any donations, now would be a great time as we're sort of clearing out some of these missions in the zoo.
Sounds good. We have $25 from Kame, who says, another year, another GDQ. Always a great way to start the new year. Thanks for the tireless work you all do. Good luck to the runners. Thank you so much. And I want to let everyone know we had a lead change in that SSX 2000 character choice bid war. Zoe is now in the lead with $321, with Kaori still in the running at $286. That run will be coming up next, so if you'd like to switch that lead around, maybe change things up a bit, make sure to get those donations in soon. Would you like more donations?
Maybe a couple more, yeah. Should
All
be
right,
fine.
I'll do a few quick ones. We have $25 from Willis the Penguin, who says, I love this event and all the good it does. My son and I watch as much as we can. Good luck to all the runners. And we have a very short $25 from Hi, who says, hello. Well, hello to you as well, and hello to everyone watching. I hope you're having a fantastic evening, morning, whatever time it is where you're at. I hope you're having a wonderful whatever it is.
Okay, try this one.
So we're going to have a chat to this guy here. I'm not actually sure what his name is.
He looks kind of familiar.
Just a little bit, yeah. Not too sure, though. Don't want to make any assumptions. But yeah, these last few missions in Zoo are quite difficult. This is Bob's Combos, probably the most infamous mission in the run. Have to hit these point totals within one combo. If at any point I fail or end my combo under the threshold, I will immediately fail the mission and have to start again. Luckily, that went really well, so we're able to move on.
Yeah. And when he says start again, it is start again from the beginning. It is brutal.
Especially on that last one. I'm going to go for a cutscene skip here. Not really a cutscene skip, it's more like a nice. So by hitting the lion and ending my combo, I finish the run and I'm able to move in the cutscene. So I sort of like respawn as the cutscene's starting, which makes things quite funny. So I was able to move straight to where the guy is rather than moving after the fact.
Yep.
I have to be really careful here. I'm not going to make the same mistake that Rushi did in that community run. Nice.
Yes, so this game has 2 unlockable, money unlockable bonus levels. They also have goals, and the game's been routed in such a way where we include one of those, Chicago, which is from the game Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2, that has some pretty fast goals, so we added that into the route.
It's it's a bit counterintuitive. Like we're doing like 900,000 point combo just then. Oh, 900,000 point high score. But yeah, I guess just the way the game's been routed. The other level, Carnival, is definitely not ideal. It's a very strange level.
Yeah, it's very tight. There's just so many things you can run into. The goals are, I don't know, I feel like they're slow, but
some of them are just weird, like a lot of it to do with, you know, grinding on like Carnival things, doing lip tricks and like stuff in dodging cars and all that or whatever.
yeah, it's a cool level, just hard to run.
It's a bit quirky. This level's also like a little bit interesting because, as Partyman said, it's like it's a port from Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2.
I get to keep my job.
Which means like some of the interesting, like, I guess, gameplay elements of that game carry over. So like a lot of the walls you just can't wall ride on. It just feels incomplete.
It really does. And like even some of the goals, like this one's really goofy in that so you have to do a flip trick over a bunch of mafia guys, and so the way it detects it is like it skips every few frames and then only detects on some. I think it's every 5 frames. So if you're going too fast, you'll often miss the goal triggers.
And like the hitbox you're trying to hit is like their nose or like in front of their face. So that can also make it a little bit difficult to sort of line yourself up correctly. Also, yeah, like some of the people you talk to in this level are just like the most generic NPCs ever, saying like the most generic things.
This is probably my favorite of the 5 o'clock on a Friday type goals, where he just literally says, grind 5 fire hydrants. It's fun, really.
It's definitely feels a bit incomplete. This might be a little bit of a tight finish. I'm gonna have to combo it out and just hope I do not miss this grind. These fire hydrants are like deceptively tough to grind. As you saw there, I was sort of going right over it, and any other like rail that you'd be able to grind would work, but for some reason it just doesn't for those fire hydrants. This is another mission that
weird
just
goals.
It doesn't work. So I'm trying to knock down these basketball players, but as you see there, like I went through and only 1 counted out of the 2. Sort of dependent on speed and like a few other factors, but it's very, very interesting that sometimes you'll hit both of them and it just will never count.
Oh, and another bugged goal.
They just keep coming.
So here you're supposed to stay on that little rooftop and get 100,000 points, but the trigger that detects that you haven't left the rooftop extends further out than it should, so you can just slip right past it and trick in the street while you're on the way to the next goal.
Makes it so much better to be able to do that. We're coming up towards the end of the run. We've only got a few more missions to go before our final goal.
Yep.
Oh, I missed the Japan twice.
Yeah, this one's brutal, so like
I'm just missing the Japan. I don't know what's going on.
Like the landing for this is really tight, and having to do diagonal tricks 2 in a row is just very brutal, especially one where you have to hold a down diagonal as you're landing onto a downward slope. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to bail that.
I am absolutely choking there. I restarted the mission and
there you go.
Just letting myself spawn back. Whatever, all good. Come up to probably the most difficult. I would say this is one of the most difficult missions in the game. Maybe perhaps the most.
It's really deceptive. Like, you'll see. It's pretty fast. It looks straightforward, but just the angles you have to hit are very weird and awkward.
You have to be going like super slow to get that O, otherwise you'll like hit a wall. I'm gonna have to end my goal here instead of restart. Yeah, 2 more missions to go before we move on to the final level or the final mission. This has been so much fun. Thank you, GDQ, for having me. This is a very last minute call up, so thank you everyone for watching and donating. Thank you, Partyman, for coming on very last minute, like 20 minutes before we were going live.
Yeah, right before I went to bed. Thank you for playing this fast, because I got work in the morning.
No worries at all. Yeah, as we were mentioning earlier, shout outs to the Tony Hawk speedrunning community. Just such a fantastic group of people, so helpful. Yeah, get on speedrun.com, get on thps.run, and get around it because it's great. Shout out to the Nivea gang, shout out to TBB, all fantastic people in the speedrunning community. We're on the final mission of the game, so get ready on time. This can be a little bit difficult, but it looks like we can get through it all right.
Yep.
And time.
Nice.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to speedrun this game, showcase it. Yeah, thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoy the rest of GDQ. There's so much more content to come. Keep donating, etc., etc.
Wow. Thank you once again to our runner Nase for a fantastic showcase of Tony Hawk. That was so much fun to watch. Is anyone else feeling a wave of nostalgia right now? I think I am. And we had plenty of donations come in as well from other excited viewers. We have $25 from Ebert who says, "We love GDQ. This Tony Hawk run is rad. Y'all are rad. Everyone is rad. Keep up the good work, runners, crew, and tech. Beat cancer." Absolutely. Thank you so much for those donations. We are going to head to a short break, but we'll be back before you know it with more speedrunning action, and keep an eye on that SSX character choice bid war. It's so close. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And right now, you only have a little bit of time left to get your donations in for that SSX character choice bid war. It has gone back and forth. Carrie was in the lead. Zoe's in the lead. Kiori is back in the lead again, but anyone can change this. Part of that was thanks to a $100 donation from Altaria Trader, who says, I want Kaori to win for SSX. Thank you so much for that generosity. And hey, speaking of SSX and some of the other awesome skating games we have, I think we may have an interview. Let's go over and see what our runners have to say.
Welcome back to AGDQ 2023 online, everybody. My name is Jhobz, and I am joined by Junior, SM, and SupaScared, who are going to be both running some, as we're talking about in this interview, like Tony Hawk adjacent games. You know, listen, everybody always jumps to the Tony Hawk games for their skating needs, and I'm here to say that snowboarding and the more realistic version of skate, in a way, more realistic, are sometimes the way to go. So thank you both so much for joining me here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. I kind of alluded there. We've seen a fair number of Tony Hawk speedruns in the past, but I feel like we haven't seen as many of these other games, and there are so many games like Skate, like SSX, that have just always been really popular games when people were kids and everything. What got you into running each of your respective games? Supa, why don't we start with you with Skate?
Well, for me, when I first started speedrunning, I wanted to pick a game that I've been playing for a really long time, and I've been playing the original Skate since 07. It's been one of my favorite games for the longest time. So when just picking that first speed game, I just naturally kind of gravitated towards that. And it's a really fast run. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of technical moves in it, and just an all-around good time.
And Junior, how about you with SSX?
Well, SSX actually wasn't my first ever speed game. That was Crash Team Racing. But
Great choice.
thank you. But the game was one of my favorites as a child as well. It was one of my first ever games, especially for the PS2, and it was one I played a lot. So, like, when I was thinking about other games to play recently, like last year, I just remembered, hey, this is a good nostalgic game. I just picked it up, and it was easy to learn, but hard to master. And the more I learned, the more I grew attached to it.
And Junior, you mentioned Crash Team Racing, and SSX in a way is also kind of a racing game. Time trial, and you're racing the clock, running down the mountain. What has kind of brought you into running? Like, why racing games? Why not jump into the platformers or the RPGs or something else?
I think the main thing that attracts me to racing games is the sense of momentum and adrenaline you get when you're maximizing your lines. Like, in a game like SSX 2000, for example, the way you play at your best is by doing tricks to gain boost with as little airtime as possible, while also holding as straight of a line as possible. Mm-hmm. And with tracks as dynamic and curvy as every single one in the game, finding that ideally optimal line where you can just hold forward and maintain max speed, it's a very satisfying feeling. Every time I feel it, it just reminds me why I enjoy the entire genre so much. Either it's line-heavy stuff like SSX 2000 or Tricky, or it's good movement-heavy games like CTR or SSX 3. They all just appeal to me.
Yeah, I never really thought about it in that way of kind of you almost get into a flow state of
Absolutely.
Slides. That's really cool. Now, Supa, you have a much wider variety of games that you jump into. Anything ranging from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, actually, Skate, and Resident Evil 2 remake. Plenty of different games. What brings you to a speed game?
I've just been a speedrun fan for a really long time, and I've been playing games for a long time too. I like a lot of different style of games. I've always really loved the Resident Evil series. Any sort of skateboarding game I really like as well. So just when trying to pick a speed game, I always try to pick a game that I've already spent a lot of hours with, or maybe I really enjoyed it casually. So I always just try to pick, games I really liked from my past. And I have a really, really long and growing list of games I want to continue to run going forward.
So what is something in Skate for anybody? Like for me, I actually never played Skate. I never played it growing up or anything. I missed out on that one. So what is something about this game that really draws you, or even just a moment that people should be looking forward to in the run?
There are a few moments you really want to look forward to in the run. The game is called Skate because within the game, there's a challenge that we have to do a few times called Skate. It's very similar to playing horse in basketball. So the first skater will start, and let's say they do a kickflip. You have to copy that kickflip, and if you don't, you get the letter S. Unfortunately, the NPC, for every time we do Skate, they get to set the trick first. So sometimes they'll fall the first time, sometimes they'll land the first 10 attempts. So when we're trying to go fast, that can really make or break a fast attempt.
I can imagine, yeah.
My favorite moment of the run is at the very end when we do the X Games vert and we just do the big mega ramp. It's a really fast moment, but you don't want to miss it.
Okay, we'll have to be watching out for that one. And Junior, for you, why are we seeing SSX 2000 from you this time around instead of maybe the more popular Tricky or SSX 3 in the general knowledge of these games? What do you like about this one? What's a good moment for people to latch onto?
Though the thing about like SSX 2000 relative to Tricky and like 3, in truth, a part of it is just that it was the first one that I decided to learn, and I just grew attached to it.
Listen, nothing wrong with that. We got plenty of speedrunners where I'll ask this question. I'm like, I don't know, man. I just like this one.
Yeah. But even though I do play the others, the full game run of SSX 2000 is probably one of my favorites because I just really enjoy tracks like Snow Dream and Mesa Blanca. When they go well, it's very satisfying because like Snow Dream is very rail heavy. Like you're going on all of the rails on the side and the rails can be disagreeable. So when they agree, it feels very satisfying. And Mesa Blanca, it's a lot of like trees, rocks cutting through all of them. And like there are areas where you can like hold straight lines cutting right through a whole forest. It's very satisfying to like both perform and watch when it works successfully. Besides those, I would say there's a rare, very low likelihood I'll actually get it, but like there's a rare Aloha Ice Jam wall clip, which happens in like the first like 4 seconds. It's mostly used in the IL, and it saves like 6 to 7 seconds if it's performed correctly, but it's so precise, and like who you choose, because each character has different turning, like affects your arc as you turn into it. So if I get it, I'll be hype. But if I don't, I'm not going to be too upset either, because overall it's still a fun track.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Yeah, those kinds of tricks are always super rough. Like, yeah, hopefully it's at least one you could just kind of go for and move on if you don't get it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Now, Supa, I did want to ask, like, what are you going to be diving into Skate some more after this, or what are your kind of game plans when it comes to speedrunning after the run that I know you're really excited to show everyone?
Yeah, I've been getting really close to record recently, so I think I'm going to do a couple final pushes for that, but I definitely want to pick up Skate 2 next, and I'm also working on Elden Ring Glitchless, but I'm going to be running the console version of that. But I'm very excited for that. I'm actually going to start running that this week.
Interesting. And kind of last question for you both here. I know that you ran Portal Glitchless. You just mentioned Elden Ring Glitchless. Junior, we were talking a bit beforehand, and you were talking about how you really liked the inbounds nature of SSX 2000. Do you both find yourself kind of more drawn to the fewer glitches kinds of runs, or are you still kind of all over the place and can enjoy a bit of both? We'll start with you, Supa.
I'm kind of all over the place. For me, it depends on if I'm running the game on my PC or not. Generally, if I'm running it on PC, I'll go for more of the just like any percent glitched categories. And then if I'm running it on console, it depends on if it depends on the latest update. If I'm going to be going for any glitches or not.
Yeah. Don't want to have to deal with those shenanigans. Junior, how about you?
No.
I'm the same. I'm also all over the place. I like games that have like a lot of like, I would say like I like when games have like minor glitches, so you can focus more on your fundamentals a lot. But then I spent a lot of time practicing skips in like SX3 and like CTR, like in the last like year or so, and it's really, I find them really satisfying to pull off as well. So I just kind of play whatever pulls to me, skips or no skips, as long as they're fun to play.
Excellent. Well, I wish I had more time to talk to you all about these extreme sports games, but thank you all so much for joining me, and good luck. Best of luck on your runs.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get back to more AGDQ 2023 with, oh, that's right, Junior coming up next with SSX 2000. Thanks, everyone.
Wow, thank you, Jhobz, for that interview. It is always so fantastic to hear from the runners. I love learning more about them, their speedrunning journeys, and the runs that we're going to be seeing coming up soon. And speaking of coming up soon, there is barely any time left on this SSX character choice bid war, and it has been going everywhere. Elise got up to $450. No, I didn't say that wrong. $450. Thank you. Thanks to a $425 donation from Not Morning Joe, who says, as a cancer survivor, I want to help others since I am able. Also, I am here for the chaos. And chaos indeed, because not too long after that, Kaori went back into the lead, now up to $500. This run is imminent. You have to get your donations in now. This has been so much fun to watch this back and forth. Of course, there's many things to put your incentive money towards. We also have a Cultic Void Flush showcase that is less than $200 away. Chat, can we meet that one really soon? I would love for the runner to wake up and just see that that showcase has been met. That'd be such a great way to start their day. So if you have a little bit of money you can spare and you're looking for somewhere to put it, that incentive has your name on it right there. I'm drawing a little heart around it on my screen. You can't see that, but I would love to see that one met soon. Oh, we got an answer to a question that came up in our previous run as well. We have $20 from Brentus Firmus, who says, translator here. Respite is Australian/UK pronunciation. Respite is North American. That's awesome. I wasn't actually sure we'd get an answer, but thank you so much for that $20 and for answering that question for our team. Really appreciate it. We also have $50 from Mel, who says, just wanted to say hi. Well, hi to you too, Mel. Thank you so much for that donation. We also have $50 from Sans Serif, who says, thank you to all the runners, commentators, staff, sponsors, and viewers that make an amazing event like AGDQ happen for such a great cause. Heart, putting this donation towards Portal. Portal's our bonus game. Keep those donations coming there. But for now, we have a different game. I hope you're ready for some super speedy downhill sliding as we join Junior for an all-race golds run of SSX 2000. Good luck.